Big Mac Talks.
Overreaction Tuesday is officially here after the first week of NFL football has concluded for the 2024 season. Like myself, fantasy managers are in a frenzy worrying about who to add, drop, and hold after seeing players for the first time in several months. Some names on the ad board include Jordan Mason, Alec Pierce, and Allen Lazard. Personally, however, I don't think any of these three hold a great deal of long term value other than as bench players, so unless you plan on trading a guy like Mason to a desperate running back manager, I'd shy away from using your waiver wire pickup on him. Instead, I think the best player who excelled in week one, who is worth picking up immediately, is Isaiah Likely. This may sound obvious given he had nearly double the points of any other player at his position, but anyone looking to pick up Likely can be assured that this wasn't just one big game for the tight end. To start, looking at the 2023 season, Likely finished the final 5 weeks of the season as a top 5 tight end on average, and he had 3 top 5 weeks in the final 5 games of the year. In 2022, he also had 2 weeks as a top 5 tight end, being a rookie still. Looking at the last 6 regular games overall for tight ends, Likely is second in total yards, sixth in receptions, second in yards per catch, and first in touchdowns. Surprisingly, Likely actually has over 20 yards per game more than Sam LaPorta, Kyle Pitts, and Dallas Goedert over that time. If we expand this number to 10 games, Likely would still be seventh in receiving yards and tied with Sam LaPorta for first with 6 touchdowns. So, in other words, Likely has been one of the best tight ends in the entire league across the last 10 games. The nice thing about Likely is that even with Mark Andrews healthy, he is still going to get targets given he's the second or third best pass catcher, regardless of the team's lineup. When looking at the snap counts in their season opener, the Ravens had 21 plays with both Likely and Andrews lined up together in the first half of their week one loss. The most the two guys were lined up on the field together in 2023 was 16, so this shows the Ravens are going to continue to use the double tight end set this season, giving Likely lots of target opportunities. This graphic from 2023 also shows how well the two men complement one another, with Likely being the much better man defense target and Andrews working through zone defenses much more consistently. This means whether Andrews is healthy or not, Likely will still be able to display his strengths in the offense. At this point, it can't be argued that outside of Zay Flowers, Likely and Andrews are Jackson's best options, so even in an off week, Likely still should be able to pull in a couple of passes and have between 30 to 50 yards, which isn't great, but it's better than a player likely to play behind Christian McCaffrey for 90% of the remaining calendar. Another stat that supports Likely as a good option is his red zone targets and catch percentages. Of all tight ends in 2023 with at least 6 catches in the red zone, he was tied with Jawan Johnson for the highest catch percentage with 85.7. This reiterates that Likely will continue to be one of Jackson's biggest weapons near the end zone and in clutch moments, which is key for all fantasy managers. Although a waiver wire pickup running back in Jordan Mason is tempting, I think the consistency Likely will guarantee fantasy owners, and his actual stats over the past 10 games provide enough reason to roster him immediately in all fantasy leagues. But what do you guys think? Is Isaiah Likely the best waiver wire option, or will Mark Andrews slowly eat away his opportunities? Is Jordan Mason the player with more upside, or is Likely's consistency more valuable? Let me know what you think in the comments and don't forget to subscribe.